Good morning, dear students.
Good morning, sir.
Hope you are all doing well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today we shall discuss English language teaching methods. And this comes under ELT, English language teaching. We have deliberately kept this unit in your syllabus because it is assumed that most of you would take teaching as your career. So these methods and approaches that we are going to discuss are going to help you in your teaching career. We shall start with the translation method because this is the oldest method, and that's why it is called as the classical method of English language teaching. Is considered to be the oldest, not as far as English language teaching is concerned, but in fact, I must say that irrespective of any language, if anyone wanted to learn any foreign language, then he or she would resort to this method, or say learn the foreign language through the translation method. However, there are many methods. Now there have been improvements over the methods, like this one is the oldest. We have the direct method, we have audiolingual method, we have different approaches also, like situational approach, we have communicative language teaching as well. We shall take them up one by one, but now we begin with the translation method. Now, as the name suggests, translation, so you can very well guess that this is about translation method. That means the English language is taught through translation. This can be assumed, like you can very well guess, this is the method of English language teaching. Here, we are concerned with English language teaching only, ELT. We are not concerned with other languages like Arabic, Persian, Sanskrit, French, or Spanish for that matter. We shall talk about only English language teaching. So this is translation method. So you can assume, as I was saying, that here English is being taught through translation. And while I'm talking about translation, then I'm taking North India there, in fact, there in my mind, where Hindi is spoken as the mother tongue, where Hindi is or happens to be the mother tongue of the people here in North Indian states like MP, UP, Rajasthan, Haryana, and all. Okay. So we begin with the translation method. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I have a question. Is there any perfect method for teaching English?
Okay, you are asking me right in the beginning. In fact, I thought, we would discuss all the methods, and then I would be asking which method do you find as the perfect method. Okay. Before we come to the translation method, we can discuss if there is any perfect method of English language teaching. This is your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In fact, I must say that there is no perfect method of teaching English as a second language. And so it will be wrong for any teacher to adhere to one method or the other method and be dogmatic. Because all these methods, whether it is translation method, bilingual method, or direct method, they all have their demerits. So we cannot stick to any one single method and be dogmatic. Okay? Hence, our approach in this regard should be eclectic and pragmatic. We should be practical. If you think that this method suits our students, then we should adopt that method. Isn't that? Like, if you think that my students can understand through direct method, then I would say that direct method is the best method. But if I feel that my students are not that good at English, if I teach them through direct method, they won't understand, then what should I do? I should teach them through translation method or through bilingual method. So a good teacher cannot sell his freedom and be a slave to any method, whatever be its merits. All methods have their merits and demerits. Even if there are a number of merits of any method, that doesn't mean that you just adhere to that particular method. So a teacher should select features of any method which he finds effective in particular circumstances. Circumstances, matter a lot. Suppose you are teaching in a, say, in a school of rural background, there you cannot teach through direct method. Why? Because the students are not that good at English. So you have to, in fact, follow the translation method there. And suppose you are teaching in some public school or some, good university where students are good at English, who can communicate well, who understand English very well, then you can follow the direct method. Again, I would say that adapt, don't adopt. Just remember this phrase. Adapt. Okay, don't adopt. Like we shouldn't adopt any single method, any particular method as the ultimate method. No method is ultimate method, in fact. So adapt. We should adapt the method according to the circumstances, the kind of stuff we have, the kind of students we have there in our classroom or there in the college or the university that we teach in. So what should be our criterion? Adapt and don't adopt. This is what a teacher should do. Now, I shall be telling you, in fact, a few tactics also of good teachers, because you all going to be teachers in future. You are all would be teachers. So, now we have a kind of rapport. You are senior ones. You will soon be stepping into your practical life. So, I should be discussing how can you make yourself a good teacher. Okay. So, there are a number of factors which affect our choice of material and techniques. Like such factors may be the objectives of teaching English. What is the objective? Are you teaching, say, parts of speech, or say prepositions, articles for that matter? Is the objectives, what objectives do you have of teaching English? Or say the class from which your teaching is started. Because, like some of you would like to teach in primary school, some of you would go to school, say, some of you would make PGT teachers, like TGT, trained graduate, PGT, postgraduate, and some of you become lecturers in the colleges and universities. So it depends, the class from which the teaching is started. Your teaching varies from class to class. It's just not the same. When you teach young students, then your teaching is different, and when you teach senior ones, the way I'm teaching, my teaching is different. Now, I can in fact follow or adopt the direct method, and I must. Why? Because you are senior students, and it is expected of you that whatever I teach in English, you would understand it. I hope you won't expect me to speak in the mother tongue. But suppose you are teaching the young ones in a rural background school, then you need to follow the translation method or the bilingual method. And even the age, the ability and capacity of students also matter much. Age, I said, the ability. Some students are good at English. They are, they have got a good grasp. They easily follow. So you have to keep the capacity also of your students, the ability of your students. And even ability and training of the teacher also matters much. Like some students, who are taught through Hindi medium, they themselves have a very shaky foundation of English. They themselves, are not good at communicative skills. They cannot speak well. So here I must say that ability and training of the teacher also matters much. If you cannot yourself speak English, then how are you going to impart knowledge through English?